And welcome back to MSNBC, everyone. One of the big stories we've been following today is the release of home videos made by the Columbine high school killers.
Of course, we're coming up on the 5th anniversary, April 20th, 1999, is when Eric Klebold and Dylan Harris walked into Columbine High School, killed 12 students and 1 teacher. We're going to go on more to Sam with more on this.
We've been watching this with Bill Majeski, a former NYPD member, and Bill, weird, strange, vile language. We all know by now that these two guys were troubled, but we're just learning now just to what extent.
Yeah, I mean, these videos depict a tremendous amount of violence, a tremendous amount of hatred, anger, and also a great deal of concern that should have been, expressed by the people around them. You know, there were other students that were helping them with these videos that they were making.
Let's talk about it as we roll it up. We're going to roll some of this videotape in it. We may stop and just listen to it. We have edited this. There's the trench coats, and I mean, we know all about the trench coats. These two guys were obsessed with trench coats and movies with trench coats in them. So this apparently is a videotape that they had made as part of a class project, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
And there are a lot of other students that are involved in this particular video.
But we believe on the left-hand side we're seeing Harrison Klebold there. They're wearing the sunglasses.
Yes.
And sometimes we've obviously, as I mentioned, we have edited this to take out the bad language, but we have heard here some of the raw video come in, and the language is very foul. It's remarkable how much anger they displayed in this particular videotape.
Thank you so much.
When you take a look at the weaponry that they're using, this is firepower. This is something that someone should have been aware of. You know, clearly you don't hide weapons like that in your home without your parents being aware of them.
Let's listen to this.
I will on your head off and shove up so far up your ass. These are friggin' 3 weeks. I'm gonna kick you and ask you, little impile of screw you up, Ucker. You want some stuff with me? I'm gonna.
Now, obviously, that particular person was digitized his face because that obviously wasn't Klebold or Harris. There were a number of people who were working on this video project together.
Yes. And the thing is that there was a tremendous amount of anger expressed in this video.
We should also mention, I'm sorry, go ahead.
And that's what I was going to say. There's an awful lot of blame to go around in this whole situation.
Well, that's where I was going with this, because we've heard today now, authorities have indicated from Colorado that on 15 separate occasions, they had meetings with Klebold and Harris. For what reasons, we don't exactly know why, but there were some concerns.
Well, we know in one particular instance, another student had been threatened by one or both of them, and the parents sent a complaint into the local law enforcement agency, and they were interviewed in regard to that. But the thing is, as I said, there's an enormous amount of blame that should go around here. Clearly, the parents of both of them had to know about the firepower that they had in the house. The way they dress, the way they act, that kind of behavior is a little bit above board. It's not normal. The parents should have been made aware of it, or been aware of it, and never, said anything to the proper authorities. The school authorities clearly were aware of their behavior, because a lot of that behavior took place during the school day.
Authorities had to know by releasing this evidence today, and thousands of pieces of evidence are being released now to take a look at. They had to know that questions would surface about the level of investigation. Were there oversights? Did they do their jobs properly? They knew that this would raise the discussion once again.
Absolutely. I mean, they did this in terms of releasing everything to try to quell all of the complaints that were being made and all the anxious individuals that are involved. But I think what's happening here is that they're opening up the door to an enormous amount of new questions that have to be answered.
And there are parents still, Bill, who are saying not enough evidence is being presented, that a lot of it is being kept away from them under legal orders. It's being locked away, and they're not allowed to take a look at it.
And I think that'll change with some court orders.
You do? You think they'll fight that?
Yeah, absolutely. But clearly, this is a situation that should have been brought to the surface long before it actually occurred.
Last question, and then we'll let you go for the time being. Are you surprised at what you saw in this videotape here today?
Yeah, actually, I'm a little bit surprised that this kind of information was available and no one acted on it. And when I say available, is that this was a school project. People were aware of the kind of video that they were making. The tape that we showed didn't express the true anger that these two individuals had.
But in fairness to school officials, they may not have seen this videotape until after the fact. This may have been in a camera somewhere.
In any school environment, there's always information floating around.
Somebody will know something.
Somebody knows something.
Bill, thanks a lot. Great stuff. Bill Majeski, former NYPD member. We'll talk to you a little bit later on.